Hi there, it's Jen. Oh, and I have an echo. Hold on. Hopefully that fixed it. If you're there, please let me know. It is Friday, March 24th, and I'm here live with you, and I'm about to make a really cute card with you guys today. Actually, it's more pretty than cute. So, what I want to do first is I want to do a draw. Every week, I do a draw for any people who've put their name by making a comment, sharing the video that I do, and then those people get into a draw for a card that I made the week before. So, in case you're new, brand new to me, my name is Jen Tinline. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and I love to show people how to get crafty with Stampin' Up! Products. And like I said, I'm going to start with the draw, and I see Vicki there today. Hello, Vicki. Vicki, can you hear me okay? Okay, so let me just share my screen here for a second. Um, they just did an update to the software that I use, so just give me a second to figure out where I am. June is there as well. June, let me know if you can hear me. And Vicki says yes. Thank you so much, Vicki. Appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. So this is anyone who made a comment last week. Or shared or liked the post is in the draw, and I'll show you what I'm drawing for in just a second, seeing as I've got the screen open here. Let's see here. You have to be Canadian and not a demonstrator. June, I think you might have won recently too. You are on a lucky streak, girl. Okay, so let me just stop the share here and go back here. Oh, and it's already up. Perfect. Good. So hopefully you can see this. Let me just write June's name in here. So thank you, June, for liking and commenting on the post. So here, let me just get it in the right frame here. There we go. There's the card that I made last week. This is with the new online exclusives. It is a stamp set that you can only get online. You can't see it in any catalogs. So check those out, and I'll put a link in there. So congratulations to June. Okay, so let me just take that away. June's there. Yay, June. Okay, so let me pop over to the craft table and let me get started. I'm glad to see you're there, June. Okay, so I'm going to show you something here out of the annual catalog. Oh, we've got lots of glare. I've got lots of lights. My new room, I made sure I was set up well with lights. And so there's a little bit of glare from all the lights, but hopefully that's better than not being able to see well. So I'm going to use this stamp set here. It's on page 77 of the annual catalog, and it's called Inspired Thoughts. It's one I've had for a while, and I really like it. It's a very nice, clean font. There it is there. And it's got a nice collection of things. There's a few things like thank you and congratulations, thinking of you. Then there's also a couple of Christmas, peace, love, and joy. Then sheltering with love at a time when words fall short. The heartfelt sympathy I love, and it's your time to be appreciated, to feel, to be remembered, to feel appreciated, and to know you're celebrated. So that could be birthday too, or thinking of you on your special day. So it's just a good collection of stuff. So the other thing I want to show you from this catalog is there's just like so many things I want to show you guys right now, because next Wednesday is when the retiring list comes out, and things are going to sell out quickly because Stampin' Up! Is trying hard not to have extra inventory. So things like this paper here, it's called Perfectly Penciled. It's on page 133. Black and white designs. It's pretty awesome. So I probably did lots of stuff with it when it first came out, and I have neglected to do more with it. But let me just show you. I've got a package here, and it's all bits and pieces because I've been using it over the while. But there's lovely black and white florally designs. I'll turn them over too as I go. You can see some of them are only just little bits left. Of some of my favorites, but black and white is always a great one to use. I'm going to actually put this one aside. I might need that for any kind of designs. Goes with everything, right? That one. You can tell the ones that are my favorite because they're missing. So I think there's a couple. Maybe this might be the last pattern. I haven't shown you yet. So that one's nice too. But the one cool thing, actually that's a cool one too. I like that one. You can go with the more white with the black designs, or the more black with the white designs. So the cool thing I want to show you about this paper, Perfectly Penciled, is that you can color it. So I'm going to do that today. So let me just see here. I'll check your comments all in just a sec. So I've got a piece of that paper here. Let me just pull it aside here. This is one of my favorite patterns, and I've been hoarding it, but I wanted to share it with you guys today. So I have here with me the Pool Party markers. These are the Pool Party blends. They are in light Pool Party and dark Pool Party, and I'm going to color this paper. And I have about 5 extra samples to show you guys at the end, so don't go away at the end, because then I'll show you what I've got. So I'm going to start with the dark and the brush tip, but I don't think it really matters for this. You could use the other tip if you want to. And I'm just going to make sure I'm not pulling this down too far so that you can't see it. I got to be able to see it too. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just outline this, and I'll hold it up in a second. I'm going to outline the image. Just nice little brush strokes here, like so. I'm not going to be super careful, but sort of. And I can always use my color lifter. If I made a mistake, I can erase that color. So I'm going to do this. Let me just show you where I'm at so far. Okay, so you can see even just that is beautiful, just highlighting that nice image. But then I'm going to take the light Pool Party and also with the brush tip, and I'm going to color in the other stuff. So you might see a little bit of a black shadow come through. It's basically the ink is wet. It's kind of showing the underside of the paper, which is of course darker. So let me just do this. It will, when it dries, it won't be quite as dark. The darkness won't be coming through as much. So I'm just going to go in here and do this. I'm not going to color the whole thing because I actually have one that's colored, but I just thought I'd get started so you can see what I'm doing. And you want to get all the little spots in here too. Okay, so isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. Also just a really cool thing because you don't always have to color the image. You can color around the image. And this is going to look like a really fancy piece of designer series paper. And of course you can make it match whatever color you want. So let me pull out my finished one here. So of course it's just a slightly different piece of the paper because you're going to cut all that paper. And this is, by the way, 5 1/4 by 2.5. So let's see. Rita says, lots of sun in the Ottawa Valley has inspired me to get on my list for one. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. When it's really sunny out, I want to craft instead of going outside. It's supposed to be raining here all weekend, so I'm hoping to get lots of crafting in. Hi, Robin. And Josie says that is pretty. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was with the blends markers. So I'm also going to take a little tiny scrap. So don't even throw away your scraps because you just never know when you're going to need them. I'm going to take the dark, actually here I've got this tip and that's fine. I'm going to just outline this guy here. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit messy because I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so let me put this, let me show you all the parts to this. So I've got a piece of Pool Party paper. I've got 2 ribbons and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet, whether it's going to be Pool Party or the black and white. I'll put the card semi together and you guys can tell me what you think. Okay, so I'm going to use, like I said, the Inspired Thoughts. Love the just clean font on this. And I'm going to make this into a Get Well card. So this one has Sending Healing Thoughts Your Way. I'm going to stamp it here. Hope it's straight. It is straight. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to cut out this little butterfly while I can here. So to cut out something little tiny like this that doesn't have a die, really the trick is just to move that paper around as you go. I'll fix that one little piece up in a second. And not worry too much. I think I need to add a little bit more Pool Party there. If you have nice sharp scissors, you leave a little bit of a border around the image. Oops, I went a little close there. And just move that paper. You can do a nice and easy cutout. This is what we used to do before we had dies. I'm going to just cut in like that. Now I need to add a little bit more Pool Party on there, but there we go. Okay, cute little butterfly. Let me just add a little tiny bit of Pool Party around the one edge there. Okay. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white. This is 5 1/4 by 4. And this actually, as I said, it was 5 1/4, but it's, no, I lied. This is 5 1/4 by 2.5. This is 5 1/4 by 2. And this is just a tiny, teeny bit bigger than the 5 1/4. So I actually have a paper cutter, and I'll show you what I mean. Because sometimes it's not obvious how to do this. So this is a piece of, just a piece of basic white. And so normally I'd go 5 1/4. That would be the base cut for mounting on a piece of cardstock. But I want to make this just a little bit bigger so I can have a nice little tight border on here. So I'm going to go, so 5 1/2 would be the size of the card base. So let me just show you that. You can see that there's my card base. It's going to be black. So instead of 5 1/2, instead of, 5 1/2 or 5 1/4, I'm going to go right in between those two ticks, right in between. Hope I get everything else out of the way. Okay. And then the same here, this way. So this way the card would be 4 1/4. And my mat, this piece here, would be 4. So I need to go in between 4 and 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go 2 ticks over. Now, if you get my newsletter, when you first signed up, you will have gotten a little card ruler, and all that is sort of explained on there. So I'm doing a tighter border than I normally would do for this, just because I want it to have a really small border, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see here. Marie is saying she never thought to color only the background. I know. Such a cool concept. And with that black and white paper, like I said, the sky is the limit on what you do. And like I said, I've got a few samples I want to show you at the end, different colors and different patterns. And you may be thinking to yourself, I don't know on camera how it shows up, but it doesn't maybe look like exactly the same color. And that is because I'm going to cut this little piece a little bit big. We're going to make it work. Because I used the light Pool Party to do the most of the coloring, so the darker Pool Party is what would really match there, but they're still the same tone, so it's going to look okay. So my black cardstock is here. So this is going to go like this on here. Stunning, eh? With the blue and the white. And I'm going to put a piece of ribbon here. So I don't know whether to do the Pool Party, which I think might disappear on the paper, or the black and white gingham. So what do you think? And I'm going to do a little bow on the side here. So I'm going to maybe guess that you're going to pick the black and white because it's going to show up more. But you know what? I'll go with whatever I see the most of. And in the meantime, I've got another little quarter sheet here. This one I've cut at 5 3/4. And I'm going to put it on the inside, of course, because with a dark card base, how are you going to write on there? So I'm going to, you can see that there's a bit of a bigger border here on this inside piece, whereas this is going to be a very tight border. Again, just to have a little bit of those coming in. It actually makes the card a little more elegant when the border is a little tighter. Okay, so let me see here. Black and white, black and white. I think you're right, the black and white. Okay, so there we go. I'm glad you guys agreed with me. I would have gone with something else if you had said something else. I'm just putting lots of tape on the background here. We'll get the Pool Party out of the way. It's very pretty ribbon, but I think because there's so much Pool Party on here already, it kind of does fade away. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that like that. Like that. And I'm going to get my ribbon scissors and trim. Okay, now because I put lots of tape on there, it is ready to go on the card base. So the trick really is to get it all lined up. By the way, I am starting to put these cards on my website. So, for example, last week's card, I just about have the post ready. I was hoping to have it ready sooner, but then I'll have measurements and everything there too. So you can go to stampwithjen.com and you can see the card and a picture of it and some details on what I used. So you don't have to remember everything. I thought, well, why am I not doing that automatically? So I'm starting to do that. So I'll probably, hopefully by the end of the weekend, have this one up as well. So I'm just tying a bow. So how I did that was I just start with big loopy here, nothing fancy and loose. And then I basically just start pulling at those ends. And you see that I left it on the spool. And that's so that I can minimize the amount of waste, of course. So, and I could have gone a little tighter at the end so I wouldn't waste as much, but we'll make nice long loops and make use of it. Okay, so I'm going to trim this now. And this is going to go on here like this. And I'm going to use some glue dots. I need a sip of water. Hold on a second. I'm back. Anna says fun. Estelle also said black. Okay. All right. So I've got my glue dots here. And I'm going to grab my take a pick tool. So much stuff here. Oh, I almost lost that butterfly. Let's not do that. We're going to use that one too. So I'm going to grab a glue dot. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it under the ribbon here. And then I'm going to scrunch the ribbon a little bit. So it kind of looks like it might have been tied. Like we're sort of doing a faux ribbon, right? Because I didn't tie it around and tie it in a bow. And the reason I don't do that, I'm going to put one glue dot there. And we're going to get another one here. That's all used up, so I'll just throw that part in the trash. The reason I didn't tie it around and tie it in a bow is I find that it doesn't lie as flat, it doesn't lie as nicely. So I like doing it like that, not to mention the fact that I didn't waste that extra piece of ribbon. Okay, so I've got this ribbon. I could sort of train it to go where I want. So let me show you what I mean by that. Ribbon training. So I'm going to put a little glue dot there. And then I'm going to tuck the ribbon right there. So it's going to stay exactly where I put it. Okay, and same with this one. I'll lift up the tail and then stick it right down there like that. Put my lid on that pen so I don't lose it. And then I'm just going to trim these bits. You always want to trim them on an angle. It just prevents less fraying. So it's pretty, isn't it? And of course, I'm not quite done. I think you guys are right. That was a good choice on the ribbon color. I need to add a little bit of bling, and then of course, oh, and of course the butterfly. So that was just from that little scrap. I think we'll use a dimensional or two from that. So let's do 1 and 2. And please tell me what you guys are up to this weekend in the chat, in the comments. What are you up to this weekend? Are you getting some crafting done? I cannot wait till next week because demonstrators get to see a sneak peek of the new catalog. So I'm very excited about that. And if you are on my mailing list, and I just got to figure out where I want to put that. I think it's going to go right on that little, maybe down here. I don't know. I think I'll stick with my initial. Yeah. There we go. I like it. It's down there like that. Cute, cute, cute. What was I saying? I digressed. We need some bling. Okay, so I have a couple choices. So I've got these glossy dots assortment, and they do have a pool party in here, but I may be thinking doesn't work with a really elegant looking card. So let's go to this, which these are the iridescent pearl basic jewels. So they're pearls, but they have a little shimmer to them. Very pretty. Okay, so let's use that. I did this on one of the other samples, and I think it was quite pretty. So I just wasn't sure with pool party because it's a brighter color. It's almost a blue-green, isn't it? And also, there are going to be new colors introduced to this catalog. So some of them might be returning colors, like colors we've had before. Some of them might be brand new colors. We don't know. I don't even know. So I'm going to find out next week. Gosh, I wish I could share it with you. Well, we won't be able to, I don't think. I think that will be one of the things we can't talk about. Putting 3 there in the center because that's so cute. But you, of course, will start to hear about it eventually. And when the new catalog goes live in May, you'll see that too. So I'm going to just do 1, 2, 3 in here. And I think I might leave it like that. 1, 2, and 3. So make sure you're on my newsletter list. I'll put a link in the comments here so that you can make sure you hear about all of those things that I said, because it's very exciting. Anyways, I hope Pool Party is a color that sticks around because I quite like it. And I do like this stamp set too. But when that retired list comes out, things like this pretty perfectly penciled. No, I'm guessing the name. Perfectly penciled. That's the name of it. Designer series paper will likely go very quickly. So there is my finished card. I could actually add a little bit of Wink of Stella to that butterfly. Let's do that. A little bit of glitter never hurt. Plus that'll make that little piece stand out. You can see there's practically been no stamping on this card, just the saying really. So again, not sure if the camera will grab that or not, but there we go. So I've got a few more samples I want to show you if you want to see them. Let me just make some room here. Rita says gorgeous. Anna says she likes the black and white. Nan says so pretty. Linda says beautiful. Robin says beautiful. And I'm sure there are more like that, and I appreciate that very much. I almost forgot. I wanted to add something else. This is another stamp set that I bet you will retire. I don't know ahead of time. Honestly, I don't. But after doing this for 20 years, I kind of have a feel for what some of the things are. This is a stamp set that has things you can put on the back of your card, which is kind of fun. So I've got one here mounted up, and it says one of a kind creation. So that's kind of a fun thing to put on the back. Oh, and I realize I'm using a black card, so that's not going to work. Here, I'll stamp it anyway so you can see what it would have looked like. One of a kind creation. Of course, it doesn't stamp well on grid paper. It needs to have nice, smooth cardstock to stamp. If you're ever getting a bad impression, then that is why. So that's kind of cute, eh? One of a kind creation. Okay, so let me show you these other samples I have here. So here is one with Pool Party. No, not Pool Party. I just did Pool Party. This is one with Balmy Blue. I did the same kind of idea with the little butterfly, and I used the pretty Balmy Blue ribbon. This was something I had on my This or That one week, and I noticed that someone had said, I'd only use it for babies, and I thought, oh my gosh, I would use it for so many more. It's like a white and blue ribbon, and it's very pretty and very delicate. So very, very nice with the Balmy Blue. There's a second one here I did with the Balmy Blue. Here we go. And this one I used that ribbon, but I didn't tie a bow. I just tied a little knot in there. And I also made this into a Get Well card. Okay, so then here's another one I did in soft seafoam, which I love this one. And I made this one into a sympathy card. Sympathy cards are great ones to have on hand for when you need them, because of course you always need them quickly. Now this ribbon here, you might be wondering, where is there black ribbon in the catalog? And we don't have black ribbon other than the black and white. It is this right here. I have it handy. A white seam binding, and see, I colored it with my blends, Stampin' Blends marker to make it black, and then just let it dry. So I love that look of, and of course I got to put the white in there, of the black and the soft seafoam. It's a very pretty color. Okay, so we're getting quite a collection here. And then here is another one done with Fresh Freesia and a different pattern of paper this time. And you can see I've done a little cute little ribbon treatment. I've done this in one of my past lives where I've used glue dots to kind of hold the ribbon in place. And this one I've made more into a birthday card with the It's Your Time to Be Remembered, Feel Appreciated, and Know You're Celebrated. And that's also very pretty, the Fresh Freesia in the black. I think anything in black looks great. Okay, so here's one that I did. I'll do this one first. Here's one with Melon Mambo. So it's much brighter. So I did use a white card base on this one because it was already quite bright and I didn't want to make it brighter. I did use those gems, so they're a little more subtle here, the Melon Mambo, but they've got a bit of shimmer to them and they're pretty. This paper too had a lot more space in it than these ones. So there's a lot more of the Melon Mambo. Okay, and then finally, so do you have a favorite? Let me know if you've got a favorite. Here we go. Those are almost the same. And then finally, this is one where I actually did it differently. I decided to color the flowers instead of the background like I had done with the other ones. And I've added a couple extra colors. So this is Night of Navy, Daffodil Delight. So I've used that in here on those little flowers. Add a little tiny bit of soft seafoam. And I love this beautiful blue ribbon from the mini catalog. And it's almost like a denim. So I love that blue, and so the card is actually blue too, blue and yellow together. So again, just a little bit different. So that same paper can look all kinds of different. So do you have a favorite? Joyce is saying the Fresh Freesia, this one here, is her favorite. Well, you know, I'm very partial to purple, or maybe you don't know, but I'm very partial to purple. So I tend to agree with you. I love that one. I actually think my favorite might be this one, the Sympathy one, because I just love how soft it is with a little bit of black in there, of course. But tell me which one is your favorite. Carol says, beautiful cards, thank you. Love them all, Josie says. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me pop back here to my face. I'm going to just take a sip of water first, so we'll leave these up here for a sec. What is that paper called? Joyce says. Well, perfect timing. It is called Perfectly Penciled. It is in the main catalog. It is on page 133. So it's got all those lovely patterns, black and white. They're sort of white or black on white on one side and white on black on the other side. I showed them at the very beginning, so if you missed that, just let me know. Not just let me know. Rewind to the beginning and you can check out all those papers, but they look like that. Mint macaroon is my favorite. Now, you know what? You may think this one is mint macaroon. I'm not sure, but this is the one I just did, and it's Pool Party. And this one, the green one, is the Soft Sea Foam. So I'm not sure which one you meant. Probably that one, because it might look like that on the camera. Okay, so this is the one that I will give away next week. So all you have to do is like, comment, or share my video, and then you will be in the draw. Estelle says, can you use that idea with black and white hand pen? Yes, thank you, Estelle, for mentioning that. Actually, that's great, because there are a couple of other papers in the catalog that have some black and white themes. This is the one that has completely all black and white, but there are a few others. There's one actually that has vanilla and white too that would work as well. I guess it's Pool Party. Okay, great. Carol, that's the one I just made, so I'm glad to hear that. I think the Pool Party is lovely too. Honestly, every color looks great with black. So, and shared, thank you so much. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, and I appreciate you joining me. Be sure to check out my website for pictures of the cards, including the card that I just did draw for from last week as well. And I always save these videos so you can catch the replay here on Facebook or on YouTube, whichever platform you're on. I'm always saving them. So I'll be back here again next Friday with another new thing. And who knows, I might know some information that I can share. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me, and wishing you all a wonderful weekend. Hope you can get some crafty and some inky fingers at some point. Take care. Bye-bye.